Better to have a short life that is full of what you like doing than a long life spent in a miserable way.
Until not long ago, I used to get really frustrated because it seemed to me that others didn't struggle with daily life as much as I did. No matter how hard I tried, more often than not, I felt disorganized, overwhelmed, anxious, while constantly struggling at keeping up with things. It took me a lot to realize and put into practice that I needed to stop focusing on what others did. All I needed to do was trying to find those things that would simply make my life easier. Not looking at impossible to accomplish to-do lists or unrealistic productivity and life organizing hacks, but looking at my needs, my routines, my habits, and my preferences. Life can already be hard enough sometimes. So creating a few systems and habits that could make my life easier started to make me feel better. Not like someone constantly struggling at adulting the right way, but someone who can actually live well, do well, and accomplish more than I thought I could. These are the simple things I do every day to simplify my life. Making my bed as soon as I wake up. This instantly gives my studio a tidier look, even if my studio is not at its cleanest or tidiest. Starting my day with a sense of a tidier space puts me instantly in a better mood and makes me more likely to keep the rest of my space organized, saving me time later on. Buy less and organize my life through budgeting. I've been doing it for years now, and there is no turning back for me. Choosing to be mindful about what I buy and how I buy is who I've become and who I am. I buy less. I buy mindfully. I make a budget at the beginning of each month and organize my life accordingly. Updating that budget every day or every time I need to makes me stay on track with my savings and expenses. And it helps me to avoid buying stuff that I don't need. Brain dumps. After losing this habit for a while due to problems with sleep and insomnia, I went back to it and oh boy, it makes a world of a difference. I take 10 to 15 minutes every day to empty up my mind. To-dos, thoughts and feelings, priorities for the day. I write it all down. It gives me clarity and allows me to stay more organized overall. I also take a look at my calendar to see how the week is looking like so I can always be prepared. Quick tidy up before going to bed. Much like making my bed in the morning, quickly tidying up my studio at the end of each day allows me to wake up in a cleaner, clutter-free space. Maybe there's a pen that I left on a couch or my shoes in the entryway. I just make sure that the surfaces are as clear as possible so that the next day there's less clutter around and less things to do. Tidying up the sink and loading the dishwasher. There's nothing worse than walking into an untidy kitchen full of the mess from the day before. So taking 10 minutes every evening to tidy up the sink and kitchen counter and load the dishwasher if needed is always worthy. So I don't have to do it the next day, and future me is always thankful. A place for everything and everything in its place. If you have been following me for a while, you've definitely heard this before. And now that I live in a very small space, I do it even more. Everything I have has a designated spot. And every time I use something, I put it back where it belongs, instead of leaving it in random places around the studio. This prevents clutter from piling up and saves me a lot of time later.
Better to have a short life
Vacuum.
that is full of what
I
you
don't
like
do
doing
it
than a long
every
life
single
spent
day, but living with a cat forces me to vacuum a lot, especially considering that in a studio apartment, mess and dust tend to show up quicker than in larger spaces. In this way, my studio tends to look tidier overall, and I save time later when I have to do the periodical cleaning. Small wardrobe. Honestly, I don't know why when I was younger, I've put myself into the struggle of having a wardrobe full of stuff, most of which I didn't even wear. I've been living off of a clothing rack and a few drawers for years now, and I wouldn't change it for the world. Everything I own, I wear it, and it makes getting ready a breeze. I've also become better at identifying what to buy and what to get rid of, so I can always keep my wardrobe updated to my needs and taste.
Which the future is almost completely predictable.
Food staples. Since living alone in my studio, I've changed a lot the way I grocery shop. I can no longer afford to buy that much organic food or food in bulk, and I mostly grocery shop from discount supermarkets. But I learned that making sure that I always have some simple, cheap, and nutritious ingredients on hand not only cuts food waste and grocery bills, but can ensure me that I always have something quick and easy to eat. Oats, rice, whole wheat pasta, frozen veggies, frozen leftovers, plain soy yogurt, tofu. These are some of the things that I always keep handy, so no matter what happens, I never have to rely on takeout. I can cook large batches and live off of leftovers for a couple of days. Streamlined beauty routine. My daily makeup consists of only 2 products, black eyeliner and mascara. And when it comes to taking care of myself, hygiene and beauty, I found what works for me, and I exclusively focus on those few products without letting commercials make me waste money on tons of things that promise miracles that they cannot maintain. The daily self-care and beauty routine is much easier when you only have what you need and actually use. Remind myself to be kind to myself and to choose myself first. It took me a lot of time to learn this, but honestly, keeping this in mind changes everything. I am a human being, not a machine. So if things get out of control somehow, it's okay. It can happen, and I don't have to make myself feel miserable if it does. Being kinder to myself allows me to approach my life in a less demanding and less stressful way.
The moment you have a situation where you are really in control,
I really hope you have enjoyed this video. If so, please like it, share it, leave a comment down below, and subscribe to my channel so you never miss a post. Thank you all so much for watching. I will see you in my next one.